Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this Rank the Movies video. I am Martin Prevost. As you can see, we're talking Batman the Animated Series today. I'm going to go over it, I'm going to talk about why I love this show, and then I'm going to rank my top 10 favorite episodes. This, of course, does include Batman the Animated Series, its 2 seasons, and the new adventures of Batman and Robin, which was when they did the redesign to make it match the Superman the Animated Series. Not that I think so. That's I just have it listed as season 3, like the new adventures of season 3. So this show came about because Batman and Batman Returns, the '89 movie, and its follow-up were such huge successes. Well, the original '89 one is the main influence, but Batman Returns had come out by the time the show was on TV, that they decided to make an animated series based on Batman, kind of following the Tim Burton concept. So in the early '90s, we got Batman the Animated Series. This would be a darker show. It was actually animated on black paper, just because it would save on black ink. Because we don't need to paint everything black if we just have to paint everything that isn't black. Which is a great idea. It used most of Batman's rogues gallery, and these are some of the best interpretations of these villains. They tried different things. Like, they realized they tried different things with the villains. They reinterpreted some of the villains, and it worked. It worked very well. This show also introduced Harley Quinn into the Batman mythos. It also introduced, I believe, Lockup became an actual character in the comics after he appeared in the TV show. And it did. It told some great stories using the villains, some of which I'm going to be talking about. And I'll get into what impacts this movie had on these Bat villains. This TV show. This show was so popular that it actually aired as both a children's television show on Saturday mornings and a primetime animated TV show on Sunday nights. So it was that popular that they had such a wide audience that they could actually hit both of those time slots. Which is amazing. Like, there isn't a lot of other shows that can do both the Saturday morning cartoon thing and just swing into primetime, animation. We're talking like it was sitting alongside The Simpsons for a while there, because I think it aired on Fox. It originally aired on Fox, then it moved to WB, or CW. I can't remember what the crap it was called back when I was a child. But yeah, I love this show. This is really, like, as much as Batman '89, Batman '66, Batman Returns, these movies made me appreciate Batman. Batman the Animated Series is what made me fall in love with Batman. This is definitely one of, if not my favorite animated series of all time. Not just Batman, just of any animated series. It's up there. It's up there on my top. If you go to my top 10 favorite TV shows, Batman the Animated Series is on that list. Why? Because it's a great show. Bob's Burgers, I might argue with Bob's Burgers for my favorite animated show. I'll admit that one's probably a pretty close argument. This one gets the nostalgia factor from my childhood, whereas Bob's Burgers is just a really good show. So let's talk about my top 10 favorite episodes. The redesign. Let's stick back. Let's talk about the redesign. So after 2 seasons and a freaking buttload of episodes, if I'm looking at the back of my Blu-ray Special Edition Complete Batman the Animated Series, they made 109 episodes of this show. 109. Most of which are the first season, because I think the first season is like 60 episodes. And the second season is 20 episodes. And the third season would be 29 episodes. So it would have been 30. I think it's like I think it adds up. It's like 60-20-30. Is what makes the 109 episodes of Batman the Animated Series. There are good episodes, there are bad episodes, but a lot of them are just enjoyable, and that's what you want from this kind of superhero show, is something enjoyable. I used to own the DVD sets, which came out in four sets, which basically the first set was season 1, the second set was the end of season 1 and all of season 2, and the third set was just the New Adventures, and all of their episodes. The format change, obviously, to the New Adventures came because they wanted it to be established in the same universe as Superman the Animated Series, which was definitely a great kids show. I have it on my shelf. I have a lot of the stuff from this world of Batman. I have the Batman-Superman movie, which for some reason is not included in either this or the Superman Animated Series DVD sets, Blu-ray sets. It's just not. I don't think it is anyways. I have Batman Begins, or Batman Return, Batman Beyond. I have that. I have Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I don't have like Static Shock or those lower the spin-offs, but the ones, directly involving the main DC heroes, I have all of those on Blu-ray. Oddly enough, I have the Blu-ray release of all of them. This is part of my childhood, and I really enjoy sharing it. But the change was made so that they could do the crossover World's Finest movie with Superman the Animated Series. But one of the shows needed a redesign because the two animation styles, the animation style they chose for Superman versus the animation style they chose for Batman, Superman was definitely a more bulky, like a more fine-lined drawing where, like, you get points of art. Like, so everything ends more on a point, whereas Batman the Animated Series' original art was more fine lines, where everything looked a little more realistic, whereas Superman the Animated Series looked more cartoony. So it was decided that Batman had to become the more cartoony fashion, and, those episodes aren't all that great. They're fine. They're fine and fun. Well, they're not that great. One of them is. One of them's really good, but the rest of them are just okay. So let's get into this top 10 list. I think I've prattled on about nothing for long enough. Let's jump in. My top 10 favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes. Number 10 is Season 1, Episode 22, Joker's Favor. This one is basically a dude is driving home from work one night. There's a jerk in front of him in a car. He tries to run the jerk off the road, and it turns out it's the Joker. The Joker steals his ID and tells him, "You owe me a favor. One day I'm going to find you, and you're going to pay me this favor back, or I'm going to kill you. So you can either owe me a favor, or you can die." The dude decides, screw it, I'm going to owe Joker a favor. And years later, the dude has gone into witness protection. He's changed his name. Joker still has his phone number, calls him and asks him for a favor. The favor is simply to dress as a security guard and open a door. That's it. That's all the Joker wants him to do. Dress as a security guard, open a door. It's that simple, because Joker's plan is they're throwing a party for Commissioner Gordon. He is going to kill all the cops with a cake. And Harley Quinn is in the cake. This is Harley Quinn's debut episode, by the way. This is the first episode she appears in. Not why I made the list. I just think the whole plot of this dude owing Joker a favor is great. Of course, Batman stops the Joker before anyone can die, and you find out the Joker was also going to kill the guy who owes him a favor because he glued him to the door when he opened it. It's a great episode. It's a great moment for the Joker. Is it my favorite Joker episode? No, but it's a great Joker episode. It really, really is. Number 9, Season 3, Episode 12, Over the Edge. This is the only New Adventures episode that made this list. It is a great episode. Scarecrow, who looks like crap in Batman the Animated Series. The original illustrations of Scarecrow look awful. They redesigned him to actually look like a spooky Scarecrow. It's great, and he's voiced by Jeffrey Combs, the Reanimator, which is just a great voice. And this is his episode. He's amazing in it. But basically, Barbara Gordon dies as Batgirl, which means Jim Gordon now has found out his daughter is Batgirl, and he wages war on Batman. So it's Batman, Nightwing, and Robin trying to survive an actual onslaught from the Gotham PD. At the end, you find out this is all just a hallucination of Barbara Gordon's because she's been gassed by the Scarecrow. It is a great episode. It is so well done. It is so much fun to sit with and just get to experience. I really enjoy this episode, and it's definitely one you can just kick back and watch, and it's just fun. Number 8, Season 1, Episode 27, Mad as a Hatter. This introduces one of my favorite Batman villains who doesn't get a lot of love in anything outside of Batman the Animated Series, and that's the Mad Hatter. He is an engineer named Jervis Tetch who wants to date one of his co-workers named Alice, but he's an awkward kind of guy. He's got an overbite, and he's obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. But he's inventing mind control technology, the ability to control other people remotely. So after Alice blows him off, he decides to make her his Alice. He dresses as the Mad Hatter, uses his mind control device on Alice and a bunch of other people, turning them into other characters from the Lewis Carroll novel, and Batman has to go in to try to save the day. It is a great interpretation of the Mad Hatter. One, because he doesn't speak rhyme. Like, that's what bugs me about a lot of interpretations of this character, is they decide he can only speak in rhyme or quotes from Alice in Wonderland or Alice Through the Looking Glass. This one, he's just obsessed with it. He is the Mad Hatter, but he is actually more he's a much more interesting take on the character, who can be very vile and villainous if they let him. And I feel like that's what a lot of interpretations of this character is missing, is they just want him to be psychopathic with an obsession, instead of like a genius who happens to have an obsession and be a little psychopathic. Number 7, Season 1, Episode 14, Heart of Ice. This is the most acclaimed episode, and it's true. It's not my all-time favorite, but it's a great episode. This is the premiere episode of Mr. Freeze, who doesn't make a lot of appearances in the TV show. I think in total he makes 3 or 4 appearances in the run of the show. He has a movie, Sub-Zero. He appears in Batman Beyond, but he doesn't do a lot beyond that. But Heart of Ice is it's now the definitive story of who Victor Freeze is. Basically, he is trying to cure his wife and take revenge. He's taking revenge on the man who he believes killed his wife as he was trying to cure her and cryogenically freeze her. He stopped his projects, and Freeze became Mr. Freeze. And he is now out for revenge and to save his wife, Nora. Batman has to stop him, and he uses chicken soup, which is just amazing, to do it. It's a great episode. It's an amazing portrayal of Mr. Freeze, and I get why it's stuck, why this has been Mr. Freeze and every other adaptation of Batman ever since. It's a great backstory. It's better than anything anyone could have came up with before it, where I think he just was an insane man who had to keep cold. It gave him stakes. It made him almost an anti-hero. Like, you didn't want to boo him because he was trying to save his wife. But at the same time, you knew he was going about it the wrong way. It's great. It is just a great portrayal. It's a great episode. I love Heart of Ice. Number 6, Season 1, Episode 25, The Clock King. This is another one of those, like, lower-level this is the real lower-level Batman villain. This might be my favorite lower-level Batman villain, because he doesn't get any love anywhere else, but I love the Clock King. I think he's great. He does this episode. He has one more episode, and then he shows up in Justice League Unlimited for a cup of coffee. But he's great. I love the Clock King. Basically, he's a man who's obsessed with time. He is very punctual. He's always ready. He's a lawyer. He's always on time. One day he meets Hamilton Hill, who is the mayor of Gotham City, and this is before Hamilton is mayor. And Hamilton tells him, just take your coffee break somewhere else. Get out of your routine. It'll help you relax. This ends up destroying the Clock King's world as he loses the court case he was working on, loses his job, loses everything. Eventually he resurfaces as the Clock King, who's out for revenge on Mayor Hill by, again, using his obsessiveness with time. It's a great episode and a great villain. I'd love to see another interpretation of this villain, because I think he's a lot of fun. I think stuff like the Arkham games and some of the Batman materials that have come out have really missed the mark by not letting Clock King be a part of the media and be in it, because he's such a fun character. And, like, especially if you're doing stuff in video games with a timed mission, Clock King works perfectly. Everything you do would be timed. It would be great. So, halfway point, number 5. Joker's Wild, Season 1, Episode 40. Again, not my favorite Joker episode, but this is a great episode. Basically, a casino opens in Gotham called Joker's Wild. It uses the Joker's visage, but Joker has nothing to do with it. So Joker escapes Arkham to go and destroy this casino and kill the people who started it, who are using his image and his name without his approval. And it's just a great episode. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great moment for the Joker, just to go out there, and, like, he has this weird motivation of, you know what, I don't like this. I don't like the fact they're using my name and my likeness, and I'm not getting anything out of it, so I'm gonna go get something out of it by killing people and destroying things. It's great. It's just a great episode. Number 4, Season 1, Episode 18, Beware the Grey Ghost. This is a great episode because, one, Adam West plays the Grey Ghost. Adam West obviously played Batman in the 66 television show, is now lending his voice to who turns out to be Bruce Wayne's hero. Basically, this episode revolves around an old TV show Bruce Wayne watched when he was a child called The Grey Ghost. Adam West's character, Simon Trent, I believe is the actor's name, played the Grey Ghost on the television show, and it's very clear watching the opening of this episode. This is where Bruce Wayne got the idea for Batman in this universe, is he wanted to be like the Grey Ghost. All of a sudden, things start happening in Gotham, crimes start getting pulled that are reminiscent of the Grey Ghost television show, and Batman investigates. He eventually suspects Simon Trent, Adam West, as the villain because it's all Grey Ghost related, and who other than him would be this obsessed. It turns out he is not, so Batman actually teams up with the Grey Ghost. Why he's teaming up with an actor, I don't know, but it's amazing to go and stop this this Mad Bomber who is trying, I actually think it is called the Mad Bomber, is the villain, who is trying to cause crimes using old Grey Ghost props. It's a great episode. I love it. Number 3, Season 2, Episode 3, Trial. Now this one I actually...
Sorry about that, technical difficulties. I was ignoring a red battery light on my camera, and it turned off on me, because that's what happens when things run out of power. I'm a dumbass. Alright, back to the list. Number 3, Season 2, Episode 3, Trial. Now, as I was saying, I get to do something I can't do with any of these other episodes, because I have here this re-TV release of Batman the Animated Series, the Collector's Edition, and Trial is actually on one of these tapes. So let's see what it says. The air date was May 16th of 1994. A treat for fans of grotesque villainy. Virtually all of the insane inmates in Arkham Asylum gathered to put a bound and helpless Batman on trial. with Two-Face as prosecutor and death as the penalty. Batman's defender, a woman who believes he is as guilty as his enemies. So yeah, basically there's a riot at Arkham using Jervis Tetch's mind control technology. The inmates get out, they capture Batman, and they put him on trial. Two-Face is the prosecutor, another lawyer is his defendant, and Joker is the judge. And it is just Batman trying to outsmart these villains. It's a great time. I love this episode. It is amazing. It's also one, if you really like a lot of villains, it is my second favorite episode that features many villains. Number 2, Season 1, Episode 39. If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? This is the first appearance of the Riddler. My favorite Batman villain. I really love the Riddler. I loved his Frank Gorshin interpretation in Batman 66. The Jim Carrey one's not bad. This one's great. Like, this is the intelligent Riddler. He's not really mad, he's just super intelligent. Much like Clock King and Mad Hatter, he has cost his job, he's cost his livelihood, and he decides to take revenge, which apparently is a theme I like in my Batman villains. And he does this by abducting the person who fired him and putting him inside a maze. He's also leaving riddles for Batman to solve. It is a great time. I love the Riddler. This episode cemented my love of this character. And yeah, I think the Insane Riddler is a good time. I think Intelligent Riddler is a good time. And I think John Glover from Gremlins 2: The New Batch does an amazing job voicing the Riddler. It's a great episode. I love it. But it's not my favorite episode. No, there's one episode that I love more than a Riddler episode. And that is Season 1, Episode 46, Almost Got Him. This is a anthology episode of the show, which it didn't do too many of. I think it only has like 2 or 3 anthology episodes. But basically, it's a group of villains sitting around playing poker. You have Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Killer Croc, Joker. I want to say there's 5 of them, but there might only be the 4. It might only be the 4, but I swear there's a 5th one, and it might be Penguin. It's Penguin. I'm pretty sure Penguin is the 5th one. They're sitting around playing poker, each telling the story of when they came closest to killing Batman. It's a great episode. My favorite line of the entire series is in this episode, which is Killer Croc's story of how he almost got Batman, which was, I had him pinned at the rock quarry. I then picked up a rock, and I threw it at his head, and it missed. And everyone at the table is just staring at him like he's an idiot, and his response is, "What? It was a big rock." I love it. I love that line. I love this episode. I love the fact that it is the anthology idea, that it's Batman fighting multiple of his villains, and it even turns into a main story, because Catwoman's involved, because Joker's almost got him, is what he's currently doing right now, which is kidnapping Catwoman and turning her into cat food, which will draw Batman, and then he'll kill Batman. It's a great episode. I love this episode. It is, again, my favorite Batman the Animated Series episode. I love this show. It's got so many good episodes. There are so many episodes I could have put on this list that I didn't. But these are my top 10 favorite. These are the ones that I would definitely like. If I was going to show someone Batman the Animated Series, I'd pick one of these 10 episodes. It's a great show. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on HBO Max. I want to say it's on HBO Max. You can buy the complete series on Blu-ray. You can buy the complete series on DVD. It's out there if you want to watch it. Check it out. It is a lot of fun. Next week, I'm going to start talking about musicals, because why not follow Batman with singing and dancing? I'm going to talk about a wide variety of musicals. I might have some guests. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So, definitely tune in and check those episodes out. I'm not saying every episode's going to have a guest next month. I'm working to have, there are 5 episodes next month, 3 maybe having guests. I don't know. I'm still figuring out the logistics of guests. But definitely check out Musical Month next month. I hope you enjoyed my talk of Batman. This is Rank the Movies. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am Martin Prevost. You have a great rest of your day. Later.